enough about that. We've only got less than 10 minutes with Sal here to go over the Bills news of the day and look ahead to the week that's coming with free agency, the tampering period Monday, and then free agency actually opening in the new league year on Wednesday. But Sal, this picture, the things people are going to do to me. With this picture, I just, I love it, but oh my God, some liberties are likely to be taken.
Yeah, I thought about that. I'm so sorry, but oh my God, it was amazing. I'm watching live. I love watching on YouTube now. It's just awesome because you can rewind. It's so easy. And I see you make this face, and I'm like, oh my God, that is amazing. So I said, I have to rewind, and I said, people have to see this. And then after I put it out, I realized, you know what? Maybe that wasn't the best idea, but holy heck, this is the business we've chosen.
Well, thank you. I will pretend to give you grief and hate it. But, deep down inside, I'm going to love every second of it. So, Terrel Bernard. By
the way, for me, too, fascinated. I was fascinated by the trade, too. For Marchand to go to Florida, I was the same way. When that happened today, I said, I tweeted, so fascinating. So I'm with you on it.
Yeah. So Terrel Bernard, 2 down, I guess, a few to go for the Bills with contract extensions for guys that are eligible.
Yeah, for sure. So, obviously, we already had the contract extension for Khalil Shakir. Terrel Bernard comes in today, so that's 2. You have 3 guys remaining that I think are very eligible, but also very much, talked about that could get extensions. James Cook, we know his situation, I think, would be the hardest because of his stance. Then you have Christian Benford, which I think the team would love to get done, but you just don't know where those numbers are. That's a premium position, obviously, cornerback and where that falls. And then you have Greg Rousseau. To me, Rousseau has always been the easiest if they really want to give him pretty big money. But that's the question. Do they want to do that? I would think they probably do. He's their guy. They drafted him, developed him. But the reason why it's the easiest is you could take his $13 million guarantee for his 5th-year option and basically shave probably $10 million off at least of, the salary cap this year. And I think that's going to happen, Bulldog. As I sit here today just poking around a little bit, I think eventually we're going to get to a Greg Rousseau extension sometime between now and next week. We'll see where it goes, but that could be percolating. So you have that, and of course, Terrel Bernard now locked up for 5 years, really. It's the same as Khalil Shakir. It's a 4-year extension, but really it doesn't kick in until next year. And I was stunned at the money because, $50 million, sticker price might look like, ooh, okay, 5th highest linebacker in the league at 12.5. No. It's $25 million guaranteed. I mean, that's really only $6 million per year if you only look at the guaranteed money. I think the Bills got a nice deal here for Terrel Bernard.
Yeah, I agree. And this is a player that very quickly ascended, right? I mean, he spent his rookie year, and we were kind of curious about him. Athletic, small, okay, quite a change from what they had at middle linebacker when Tremaine Edmonds was patrolling that patch of grass for the Bills. And he was hurt that training camp. And like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And then he, I think we discovered why the Bills had so much faith in him, because I think as soon as he got on the field, he became a player that could really be counted on, and really for more than just to hold down the fort. He has made big plays for this team.
Yeah, for sure. It's really interesting. Everything you said is right. He's made splash plays, and I remember when he became the starting middle linebacker and Tremaine had left, and I remember going to OTAs that year, and I took a picture, and I posted this, and it was Bernard and Milano and Taron Johnson all standing kind of next to each other doing some warm-ups. And someone replied, look at our new middle linebacker. He looks like a slot corner, like how small he was, right? And that was the concern. And that still is, I think, for a lot of people. He's undersized, but look, it's a trade-off. The Bills are undersized at certain positions because they want to have the athleticism. And Terrel Bernard certainly is athletic, and he can cover. He's obviously very physical. But no doubt, I understand when people say, well, he's a little bit more propensity to get hurt. Look, he rolled his ankle in a playoff game a couple years ago against the Steelers. He missed a couple games. He hurt his pec this year. He missed 4 games. Other than that, those are the only games he's missed his entire career. So he hasn't. He is a physical guy and an undersized body. But I think the trade-off is good for the Bills and how they want to run it. But that being said, he's next to Matt Milano as well. He's another guy that's made splash plays as well. And they're going to have to do something with Milano's contract probably. They could let him play out his this year at the number. I don't know if that's livable for the Bills. So we'll see. You and I brought it up yesterday. You brought it up with me about Matt Milano and what they might want to do with him. I as I said here today, I am very much confident Matt Milano will be on the 2025 Buffalo Bills. They're not moving on from him, from everything that I know. The question is, I would believe that maybe something could be altered in his contract or whatever.
Yeah.
We'll see where that goes. But I'm confident that Matt Milano will be on the 2025 Buffalo Bills. It makes no sense for the Bills to move off him, especially prior to June 1, like this week, because they would literally save no money and take on a $17 million cap hit.
Yeah.
And if they waited till as a June 1st designation, they'd save $9 million, but they'd still take on a $6 million cap hit over the next 2 years.
And you don't get that money until June 1st, as we have all come to learn.
That's exactly.
Yeah, I think some sort of a restructure, pay cut, something makes sense there. I hope he's amenable to that, because I do think he did. It took him a while, and really when he got back in the lineup, he still didn't look quite like himself, but they gave him the room to sort of work himself, I think, into Matt Milano game shape. And I think by the end of the year, the end of the playoffs, I think we had gotten there. Well, Sal, there is still going to be a lot of work to do for this team to get not just cap compliant, but get room to operate here and do business when the market opens on Wednesday. Last year, by this time, they had made a bunch of moves that freed up a bunch of money, a lot of cuts and all that kind of stuff. It's been kind of quiet on that front. We had the punter yesterday and these extensions for these guys, which are helpful with that in mind. But it would seem like they're going to have a pretty busy, 72 hours or so leading into Monday.
Yeah, agreed on that. I know we only have a minute or two, but it just came to my mind. I wanted to ask you something back on the Terrel Bernard thing, and I want to just dollars for dollars, player for player. I mean, forget dollars. I mean, player for player. Forget the salary. Who would you rather have at middle linebacker, Terrel Bernard or Tremaine Edmunds?
I would say Bernard. I think Edmunds got a tough ride. I think a lot of what he did effectively, taking up space with his length, is not the kind of thing that, it's not splashy. But I think it was very effective for the Bills. But Bernard, the big plays, I think, make an impression. So I would say Bernard.
Okay, and the reason I ask is I went back and looked. Terrel Bernard's, when he left, 4 years, $72 million, 50 guaranteed.
Right.
And we're talking about the guy they have now, you'd rather have, and they just got him for half the price. I just want to put that in perspective for everybody. Right? He's getting it for up to $50 million, but $25 million guaranteed, which is half the price. So I just think that's just putting in perspective, everybody, Terrel Bernard's contract today. And by the way, I did not think they could shave anything off Khalil Shakir's cap number from over $3 million because it was that low. And they did because they added a void year to it. So I wouldn't be surprised if that happens for Bernard as well, and they add a void year, and Bernard could go from like 3.5 to 2 something, and then between him and Shakir, you're saving over $1 million in cap space, which gets us to what you just asked, which is how do you create that room? They still have to do that. So I would think, number one, let's see if anything happens with Matt Milano's contract. Don't know. They could just leave it as B, but I wouldn't be surprised if we hear something on that front. Number two, Von Miller's the big one that's hanging out there. What do they do with Von Miller? I think it's the same situation. To me, there's only two options here. You either release Von Miller or he restructures. You're not keeping him at $23 million on your salary cap. I just think that's no way to me that is happening. And then a couple other guys, you could look to say, okay, what are we doing? Connor McGovern going into the last year of his deal. Could you do an extension there to lower his salary cap? AJ Epinesa has always been a sneaky June 1st guy for me because you could save like $7 million and only eat like 1.7, I think it is. But again, as you brought up, you don't get that money until June 1st. So there are things they have to do. And then, of course, there's Josh Allen. How much can you save with a Josh Allen restructure or even an extension? He's counting $44 million against the cap. He has 4 years left on this current deal. An extension for another 3-4 years. You add a couple void years onto that, and you could have, Josh Allen here. You could shave a lot off that salary cap money.
For sure. We'll keep an eye on all of that as we head through the weekend and into what will surely be a busy week for the Bills. Sal, thanks a lot for this. Appreciate it, and thanks for ruining my life.
You got it, buddy. I'm still with you. I'm shocked, too, but you got it. No problem. Thank you.
That's our Sal Capaccio on the West